Today I'm gonna show you how to build a new LEGO minifigure habitat. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Here we have the latest minifigure habitat that I built from the Potter from the CMF Series 24. And as you remember, I was experimenting with a little bit of different color palette for this one. And I'm gonna continue to explore with colors that I don't really use much in my builds. And maybe I'm gonna give some ideas for some of your builds. The protagonist, the character of today's video is gonna be this very cool retro space hero that comes from the CMF Series 17. So it's still a fairly recent one and it's very cool. So let's move the Potter on the side and let's see what I came up with this retro style minifigure. So here we have a base. I went with this nougat with the yellow at the bottom, and you can see I already added a sort of little round carpet, and here is in bright light orange. So it matches more or less the color of the minifigure. So now what we are gonna do today is try different colors that I don't really use, and the idea that this minifigure gave me is a little bit of a Jetsons vibes. So I'm gonna go with a retro style and try to get some different colors and also around their shape. So here at the back I'm gonna use this color. If I'm not wrong, is bright pink, but don't quote me on that because I tried to look at the color palette and there were so many different kinds, so I'm not too sure exactly which one is that. And over here on this side I'm gonna add another wall. Don't mind the different colors at the bottom, but the main part should be bright light yellow. So it's a very lighter version of the regular Lego yellow, which is this one. So this is the basic color scheme that I have, and then I'm gonna have some accent color here and there. So one thing that I need to do here is add a little bit of details, a little bit of decoration. So for example, here I have a jumper and I'm gonna add a sort of, I wouldn't say window, but maybe some sort of piece of art, and I think here already we get the right shape and the orange still fits the theme quite well. Over here at the back I'm gonna add a plant. So for the plant I have this weird looking round piece that I pick up in a brick hole on Bricklink, and I'm not sure exactly what's the purpose of that. I stuck one of these inside. Of course there's a lot of stress there, so I wouldn't recommend it much. Then I'm gonna run this through the middle and add one more of these on top. So these are the eggs that I got from the succulents, and this should be yellowish green if I am correct. Of course guys, if I get this color wrong you can let me know in the comments down below, assuming that from the camera you can see the correct shade of color. So here we have another rounded shape with interesting color that is gonna be at the background. Over here we're gonna add a little sort of shell. So again we have the bright light orange over here with a little tan cover, and here we're gonna add a TV. I was trying to get rounded shape TVs, but with the curved slope it was coming out very bulky. So I decided to go with a regular style, square with a little bit of modified bricks at the back and some reddish brown around it. So it's a more like vintage style TV, okay, but I didn't get the round shape for that, but I think it still works fairly well. And then over there I left it open, so it could be, for example, a place to store the minifigure blaster, which by the way is very cool. Okay, let's see if I can put it in a place so that it can be seen from the perspective. There we go. Now at the back here I'm gonna add a big window, and again I wanna get a curve effect. So I'm actually using these pieces. I got a few, I think, from the Lego store. So I connect them with some modified plates with the bracket there. I actually have only one of these brackets, so I have three sets of these. I'm gonna connect them at the back, and then this is gonna connect here. For the color scheme here, I didn't have choice because the only inverted tile that I have are this one in dark blue, so there's no choice. That's what I decided to go with, and it also go quite nicely around this detail over here, so I think that works well. Now of course here is a bit ugly because I have the black piece there, but I'm gonna put something over there first. But let's close the top So here I decided to add a light. So I have a simple structure here with the same color scheme that I was using now. And again, a rounded light on top. So it's the same piece as that one, but this one is in trans clear blue. And it's gonna go on top of there. So we have something lighting up the room. And I think the effect of these Jetson vibes is already kind of working. Now over here, I'm gonna add a table. So again, I went with a rounded shape, another sort of decoration on top of the table, this time in orange, so it matched the one at the back. And here is on an angle stud over there, and then modified plate, and this sort of steering that is gonna provide me with the legs of the table. And on top, I'm gonna add a mug. This is the only kind of color that I think it would have matched with this one, because I think the yellow would have been a bit too strong. So this one, I think it works, and we can put this at the back there, and it's gonna cover up that black detail. I thought also to add a sort of little chair, so I use one of these star pieces at the bottom, a few studs, and then this is the result I came up with. Very simple, very straightforward. The 10 match the one under the TV, so there are quite a few different colors, but I think it all works pretty well. Maybe the only one that I'm not happy with is that dark blue. For the rest, I'm pretty much okay with it. Now, of course, here we can add the minifigure at the front, but we are not done yet. So at the jumper there, we have the minifigure. So you guys can let me know in the comments down below how these retro vibes are working. But I thought I could add something at the back here. So in some habitats, I create a dark sky or a blue sky to add some details. Here I decided to leave it like that, but to add some sort of planet. So this is a space hero. So in the background outside of the window, we should be able to see some planets, some galaxy. So I create this little structure. I did already something like this in some previous build. So I have this sort of ring that I connected to this antenna piece on an angle. And then inside, I put this ball. This bigger ball comes from one of these Ninjago sets. I pick up a very small set for like $10, $15. And there were 3 of these green ball. And I think, again, I'm getting the orange. And then this green give a little very nice contrast. And of course, when I put this at the back side, you wouldn't be able much to see the white details, especially if I take a picture with a very bright light. You only can see the planet at the background, but you're not going to be able to see the support. So I think that was a good addition. Of course, if I would be to display this, I would have to create a structure behind to hold that up. But I think for the purpose of this video is good, and I hope I can give you a little bit of ideas on some habitats or maybe some bigger builds that you would like to try out. Now let's move this a little bit to the side and just put it next to the Potter so we can have a little bit of comparison between these different style of color habitats. And if you like builds like this, very colorful, I highly recommend you to go and check out my Lego Van Gogh minifigure habitat. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next video. Ciao, ciao!